So welcome back to my channel. Haven't made a video for a while because I've been doing house renovations and I'm working from the bedroom, and it's been very noisy, so unable to do it. So look, if you're feeling uneasy about where the economy is heading right now, you're not alone. I feel exactly the same. So the video I'm going to make today is about top 5 assets to buy before the next crash, and for disclosure reasons, I do own some, if not all, of these assets, and this isn't financial advice, so do your own research. It's that bit out the way. So inflation is quietly destroying your purchasing power, with debt levels, both public and private, are at historic highs. When inflation is 3%, 4%, etc. When I had a mortgage, it was 15% when I was 18. It means your cash, your fiat currency is reducing by that much. And let's be honest, most people are one bad year away from financial ruin. And with everything that's happening in the UK, as well as some other countries, it's not a good look. But here's what's the media won't tell you. Wealth doesn't disappear during a crash, it just moves. And as we've seen in the UK, people are moving around, moving countries, taking the wealth with them. And of course, their spending power. And those who are prepared can come out of the next downturn stronger, wealthier, and more independent than ever before. So if you sit back and do nothing, then you'll get nothing. If you make a conscious effort to invest, and I recommend investing for anyone, then you can come out stronger. So it's important that you understand the best places to put your money. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the top 5 assets to buy before the next crash. Buy them now if you want. Not just to survive, but to position yourself for the long term and give yourself income and financial control. So let's dive in there. That's all the bits out of the way. First on the list is, of course, the good favorite of Bitcoin. Now, before you scroll away thinking not crypto again, stick with me a bit, okay? Because Bitcoin isn't a tech trend. It's an exit from a broken system. And you have to sort of get to grips with this. It's 21 million Bitcoin ever. No more can be added. It's getting bought up at the rate of you wouldn't believe. Institutions, sovereign states of countries are buying Bitcoin. And there's only 450 new Bitcoin added per day until the 21 million runs out. Whistle stop till I've got another video on Bitcoin. Please go and have a look. It's a fixed supply. So it's limited, and in fact I think somebody on I can't remember, Bloomberg Gold physical Bitcoin today, so that's always interesting. And while fiat currencies have been printed into oblivion, literally trillions since 2020, Bitcoin has done the opposite. Every 4 years the new supply cuts in half. This is known as the halving. 2028 is around about the next halving, and while fiat currencies have been printed into oblivion, literally trillions since 2020, Bitcoin has done the opposite. Every 4 years, the new supply cuts in half. This is known as the halving. The next one is in 2028, and it happens in 2024, April 24. And usually within the next 12, 18 months preceding a halving, Bitcoin just jumps. I mean, as you can see, it's over $100,000 now. Before the halving, it was way less. If you look at the past 3 cycles, Bitcoin has entered major bull runs. When the halving happens, we enter a bull run. We're in a sort of a sideways pace a little bit right now, but it's still over $100,000. But it's not just about cycles anymore. Institutions, as I've said, are now piling in. BlackRock, Fidelity, MicroStrategy, which is a Bitcoin treasury company, which means they buy Bitcoin, put on their balance sheet. Even publicly listed companies in Japan, like Metaplanet, same thing as MicroStrategy, they're buying Bitcoin, putting it on their balance sheet, are buying millions and billions of dollars worth. So you can see institutions, corporations, countries just buying Bitcoin, and it's limited. They're not buying because it's fun. They're buying because they see what's coming. So a currency debasement, institutional grade demand, and the generational shift in what people trust. Bitcoin is volatile. It does go up and down. That's the beauty of it. But overall, it's gone up over the last, 11 or 12 years since its existence. And in fact, the last 12 months, it's gone up, I think it's something like 60 odd %. Now, you don't get that in the bank, do you? So absolutely. But that volatility, is the price you pay for us to escape velocity. So a small allocation could be your hedge, your asymmetric bet on a new financial system. Ignore the noise, zoom out, know what you own. It's important that when you invest for the long term, because Warren Buffett, all the top guys and girls, they invest long term, and you can see how their wealth builds. If you try and trade things, which means buy and sell the same day, that's day trading, or swing trading, buy and sell in the same sort of 30 days, then most actually lose because you need to be full time on it to understand it. Second, cash flowing real estate. So I've just bought a social house, which is yielding 12% with no landlord responsibility and guaranteed for 25 years. So in the UK, Labour government, socialist government, they like you doing these things. They hate landlords where you own properties, and I've got that as well, and rent them out to tenants, and you have all the landlord responsibilities. So social housing is my next play. So not luxury property, not overpriced city flats with big leases and sort of all them community charges. I'm talking about real world functional properties that pay you monthly income. So think HMO rentals, which is multi-occupancy, social housing, student lets, multi-unit buildings in areas with high rental demand, like around students and this kind of thing. If you own good property with low leverage and you're focused on net cash flow, you'll be in a powerful position. So let's say you're earning £1,200 a month on a £150,000 property. That's almost a 10% yield. Even if the house price falls 15%, your monthly income doesn't vanish. And in fact, quite often during them times, rent goes up every year, 3, 4, 5%, etc. And over time, you ride the cycle back up. So property is always long term, 10, 15, 20 years. Also, demand for rentals spikes when people can't afford to buy. That's where you win as a landlord. Bonus tip. Did I just say tip? I hate the word tip, but bonus tip. Look into social housing where the government or council guarantees rent. Lower risk, steady cash, and very recession resilient. Hence, it's my next play. So number 3, physical gold. I own physical gold. It's a great asset to own. They used to say it was a hedge against inflation. It's not. It's a hedge against geopolitics. And look at what's going on in the world right now. Lots of political shenanigans, lots of men in black. It's all going on. And yes, I mean real allocated bullion, not paper ETFs, not contracts. Something you can hold or store in a vault under your name. I vault it. You can use a bank vault, an independent vault, but you vault it, especially if it's of any significant value. And with gold hitting over $3,400 recently, it's certainly set for a climb. Whenever there's wars, countries go for, and individuals, flight of safety. And that flight of safety is usually gold. And what's really been appearing is Bitcoin. So, good flight of safety. Gold has survived every empire collapse, currency debasement, and war in recorded history. So, right now, central banks are buying more gold than at any other time since records began, apparently, whenever records began, I don't know. But in 2023 alone, central banks bought over 1,000 tons of gold. Why? Because they don't trust the dollar. They don't trust each other, and they want neutral, uninflatable reserves. Gold does it. Gold is not a get-rich-quick asset. It's a preservation play, a hedge against, geopolitics, currency collapse, banking failures, even more. It's your insurance policy. Your sleep well at night asset, of course. With my background being insurance, I'm all for it. Ideally store it in the vault, offshore, through private bullion services. Now, in the UK, if you buy gold coins, Britannia coins, they're capped against tax-free because it's a currency. So you can buy coins. They might cost you a little bit more, but I've done the calculations. It's beneficial because you're going to save 25% in the tax. And of course, you own the gold. That's always an upside when you're saving some tax, right? Next, number 4, index funds. These are funds that will track the S&P or something like that. They track that. So you're better off buying index funds when a crash happens and they're sort of all-time low. But you don't buy these at the top. You always buy during the crash. When the news, I don't own index funds, by the way. When the news is full of fear, when everyone is selling, you've got a fear index. When your instincts say, wait, maybe it goes lower, that's usually when you should start buying. Historically, if you bought the S&P 500 during deep recessions, 2008, 2020, you'd be sitting on triple-digit gains a few years later. Now, overall, over 10 years, things like the S&P 500 grow about 9.5%, 10%, which is why Bitcoin just stands out like a sore thumb. Gold also. And unlike stock picking, index funds tend to be low fee, highly diversified, and almost never go to zero. If you're in the UK, you might look at people like Vanguard FTSE, iShares, S&P 500 ETFs. Even if you just drip in monthly, this method is called dollar cost averaging. It allows you to smooth out volatility and build long-term wealth. But remember, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. So like I said earlier, always good to hold rather than trying to trade something. When markets crash, skills matter more than savings, trust me. People with leverage, so don't do leverage. I'm against leverage myself. I think there's a time and a place. I don't think now is the time and place. I know some people do it, but some people lose a lot of money doing it. So I'll go into leverage another time. So learn to build the number 5, actually. I've missed number 5. Number 5 is you. You are an asset. Build a YouTube channel. I'm building a YouTube channel because I like to share, not because you can subscribe if you want. I really don't care. You can subscribe. Well, I do care. But you can subscribe. You can not subscribe. But build a YouTube channel. Launch a digital product, trade or invest, build AI tools, use AI tools, create cash flow from knowledge. Whatever your knowledge is, capitalize on it. Does it mean that the best thing I did was write a book? It was like a big extended business card. And everybody, wants to call the book, how great the book is, and all this kind of stuff. So I wrote a book, and that's a good stepping stone into other areas. And whether that's talking on stage, which I've also done, I don't like the preparation work, but I have talked on stage many times. I'm an omnivert. I'm an introvert by nature, but I will speak on stage, so I guess that makes me an omnivert. So unlike stocks or gold, you're the intellectual property. You have no ceiling, and in a world heading towards automation and AI dominance, your brand and your mind are the ultimate assets. So capitalize on your knowledge, and more importantly, capitalize on your know-how. Don't wait for permission. Doesn't matter if you have a job. You can do this in the evenings, weekends, or whenever you've got some spare time. So let's quickly recap. Top 5 assets to buy or invest in a crash, before a crash. Bitcoin, limited and programmable money for a broken system. Cash flow and real estate, especially social housing. Gold, ultimate hedge. Index funds, usually when they're at a low, so you can monitor those. Yourself. I do believe it's a bit of a cliche, but I believe investing in yourself is probably one of the best things you can do, because what does it cost? Basically nothing. It's your time. So unlimited upside. And know it's your turn. So look, I hope this content helps you. The main thing is don't fear. Don't be scared. Invest wisely. Listen to this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want. I just live to share what I've become to understand. But more importantly, I live and breathe what I speak. Not like other YouTubers, and there's some good YouTubers out there, but I live and breathe what I speak. I invest in Bitcoin. I invest in real estate, in social housing, in buy-to-lets. I invest in gold. I used to invest in stocks, but I've come out of stocks. I've had a business. I built it over 32 years and sold it to private equity. I'm technically retired, but I invest my capital. So it's all my cash at risk, which is why I keep an eye on all of these sort of things happening in the world. I wish you luck. I wish you good fortune, and stay tuned.